Thank you. Well, I think it's amazing when PHP Conference wants to have a WordPress talk. Luckily for you, I will not show you any PHP code today. I want to talk about aliases. And throughout history, aliases were used to hide different things, mainly identities and mainly females. In CLI, you can use alias to replace a command. So let's say I use the same command throughout the day, for example, ls. And maybe I use it with a set of complex parameters that I have to type a lot. For example, ls, la, right? And if I want to repeat it many times and I don't want to type things, I can always use exclamation mark and ls, the command, and it will repeat the command with exactly the same parameters I used the last time. But what if I use this command in different variants, and each variant has a lot of different parameters? Then alias is a nice thing. So I can say alias Milana equals, for example, and now when I type Milana, it will execute this command. But this is only a session-based alias. So if I open another session and type, oh, this is very big, and type Milana, it will not find the command. So if you want to make it more permanent, you have to put it in a bash RC file or bash aliases file. Now, in WP-CLI, alias replaces admin user identity. And what is WP-CLI? It is a command line interface for WordPress. It's mostly used to manage WordPress website, and it's mostly used by hosting companies and some plugin authors, but it really can go far, far beyond mere managing. So as any other CLI tool, WP-CLI has help. In help, you can find all the commands and all these subcommands and parameters and even examples. The complete documentation is inside the help. And almost all of these commands need to be executed inside WordPress instance because they are doing something to that WordPress. But this one that we are going to look today is a subcommand of CLI command, and it is the configuration of WP-CLI on your computer, so it can be run anywhere in the system. And here we have cache and check update and completions and version, and this is alias. So the command itself is really nothing special. It's just managing, add, delete, get, whatever. What is special about alias is alias itself and what you can do with it. So consider this scenario. You worked on a website a long time ago. It was WordPress website, and you changed the login URL so that you increase the security. And now client sends you email, they cannot find this login URL. They tried WP admin, they tried login, they tried WP login, it just keeps sending them to 404 page. And they ask you to give them their login URL. So you have two options. You can search through database if you have access, which is boring, or you can run one WP-CLI command, because we live in a perfect world where every server has WP-CLI available and you have SSH access to it. So you choose the second option, and this is what we can do. We can say SSH, and this is my imaginary client. And here we are on remote server. I have WP-CLI. It's a bit outdated, but I have it. And this is, now I can run this one command, right? No, because I haven't heard from this client for a long time ago. I don't know that port number. I don't even know where is the file where I saved that port number. And with WP-CLI alias, I don't have to memorize anything. I can just check if I have this client, WP-CLI alias list. And here I have, this is what I use to log in, and this is my client alias. So this remote alias has path and SSH. I have one local alias. It uses only path, and this all is created automatically when you create one custom. It is used to do stuff against all your aliases. It's a nice idea. I just didn't find a safe way to use it, but you can try and play. So with this alias, now that I have it, I can say WP client evil, and this command will execute arbitrary PHP code that you type. So I happen to know WordPress function for getting login URL, and it will execute it for me. So this is not very useful because I cannot click on that. So I'm gonna just add a new line here. No. Okay. And here we go. It's you should have asked Milana. So this is my imaginary client's login URL. Now, this task in real life could take a lot more time. You send email back to client, I don't have credentials, can you send it to me? They say, oh, I don't have it either. And then you try to find it. In 2 hours, they say, oh, here, I found it. Then you log in, then you have to open support ticket. It's a lot of time you cannot bill, you cannot log that time. And with WP-CLI alias, you don't have to. You don't have to memorize anything. You don't have to keep the files. Everything is in config file, and you don't even have to know where is that file. It's in your terminal, and you can find it whenever you want. So now we are going to create these aliases. And as I said, you can create alias against remote site and against local one. The remotes are a bit more complicated, so we are going to start with that. Before you even think about creating remote alias, what you have to have is SSH connection to the remote server via SSH keys. And it's different for every server depending on the configuration. You usually can find a tutorial on hosting servers, hosting provider blogs, or something like that. The gist is you create a pair of SSH keys on your computer, private and public one. The public one you copy, paste to servers, authorized keys, and then when you log in again, the server says, oh, I know you, you have my public key. Do you have a private? Oh, you have. Hi. And then your computer says, oh, whoa, do we trust this guy? And then you say, yeah, okay. And then you put this server into your known hosts, and you have established connection. So now, when we have that connection, and I have such connection with another remote site that we are going to create alias for now. So if you remember, we needed path and we needed SSH credentials. So for the path, I'm going to go to WordPress. So here is my WordPress. It's pretty up to date. And to get path from here, I need to type print working directory. And here we have a path. So I'm going to copy this and go here. So to create alias, there are a number of parameters, and I don't like memorizing things. So let me see, what do we need? We need add subcommand, and here are the examples. So if we want to add alias, there's set SSH and set path, and I don't want typing that. I don't want to think if I type it correctly or to memorize what I need. So WP-CLI has the most beautiful global parameter in the world, which is prompt. And it will prompt you with every parameter there is. So you don't have to type it. You can just type the values that are unique to your situation. So the key has to be, has to start with @ This is how you're gonna call your alias. And I'm gonna say developerka. User, not needed. URL, not needed. Path, I have it in my paste bin. SSH, so the format is user @ server : port number. So this was developerka.com and : and port number, and everything else is like on Windows. Next. Okay, so now if we take a look at, CLI list. Here is our new alias, and let's see if it's working. I'm gonna go back to this remote one, and I'm gonna see, for example, home URL. And it's https developerka.com. So let's test it with this. The way you use commands with alias is absolutely the same as without them. It's just you add a name of alias right after the WP part. Developerka option get home. And it even has completions. So here we have that same URL. So now we can use this remote server to do stuff as we would do to our local. We don't even have to log in there. But we'll do something nice later. Now we are going to create another local one. So you can see it's much simpler. Let me get out of here. And let me go to a magic one. Here, I'm gonna need, again, just path. So print working directory and copy. And we can go back to prompt. It's gonna be magic. And user, URL, path, and everything else is okay. So now, I have 4 of them, and 2 are local, 2 are remote. What I want to do, because these local ones, I want to manage them more quickly. So I want to create another alias that will be group for them, and it will only take 1 parameter. So the key, let's call it group to make it more obvious. User, URL, no, grouping. So here I'm gonna just add a list of alias names that I wanna be in this group. So I'm gonna say magic and WP-CLI. So it's without @ and everything else is the same. Now, if I wanna do something to this group, for example, let me check the WordPress version. So it will execute in the same order that I put them there. So the magic one is freshly installed last night, and WP-CLI is actually the one I used for workshops for local communities. So it's pretty old. It has a lot of junk in there. And we are going to do some stuff to them now. So for example, I want to install plugin on both of them. And let me just check what plugins I have. Now, maybe you noticed the way WP-CLI constructs the command. It's WP, and then you have a none, and then you have a verb, and this is verb. So what you want to do with this none, and there are some verbs, same verbs throughout the whole, every command, like list, get, add, delete, remove, and so we are going to list plugins now, and you see this magic one is new one. It has default plugins, both inactive. The WP-CLI one has some Serbian plugins and and some translation. And so I want to install on both of them Jetpack. It's pretty straightforward, right? So plugin, install Jetpack, and I'm gonna activate it right away. Activate. And magic is installing. And the WP-CLI one doesn't want to install because WordPress version is 6.0.2, and it requires 6.3. So I'm gonna go back and update. And Magic is already up to date because it's fresh. This one is now updated, and now when we go to install Jetpack, both of them are installed, and when we list, here we have Jetpack active, and here we have Jetpack active. Now, this is all nice, and you can group local, staging, production if you want to do, some things like that. But still, this is something that can be done in dashboard. So I could go there. It would take more time, but I could go to each dashboard and just click update, 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 install. But now we are going to do something that cannot be done in dashboard and cannot be done with any plugin. So you can do this only with Alias. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this remote website and clone it into this magic one. So let me go to Magic. Let me show you how it looks like. It's freshly installed. This is default, how WordPress looks today. So when you get a new project, it may not be a new website. So it already exists. You have to export database. You have to import it. It takes time. It's boring. But you can make it, more easy with WP-CLI. So first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to export database just to make a backup here. And WP-CLI creates it like this. It has the name of the website, and then it has a date when it's created, and then a random hash so nobody can guess the file name on your server. And if I want to do this same command to the other, remote server, I can say WP client db export. Now, it will create a file that I don't know what is called on remote server, and the name is not a problem. I can define here how to call it. The problem is it will create this file above my WordPress root, and I cannot download it. I have to log in there to be able to move it around and download it, and I don't want to log in there because I have Alias. So what I can do, I can use this dash, and it will take everything, the whole database, and put it in output here. And now we have database and no file created on the server. And this is kind of better, but I'm not gonna copy paste this. This is insane, right? So what I can do is I can put it in a client SQL file. And now I have this client SQL file here. And if I open it with, let's say, Vim, you see it's a real database file. Now, let me just get out of here. So WordPress developers know how to close Vim. We established that. Now I can import this file, this database, WP-DB import client SQL. And if we go, no, this is the remote one, sorry. If we go here, it's there, but the URLs are still pointing to remote server. So I have to do WP search replace and find remote one and replace it with local one, magic. So it made 74 replacements, and now I'm gonna replace the protocols. And the reason why I'm doing this separately is because it's not the same number, and sometimes magic. Sometimes things don't get, so you see it's 68 replacements. So you can miss some if you do it right away with the protocols and domain names. And now it should be fine, one would think. But what we need to do is we need to flush the permalinks. So WP rewrite flush, and I forgot what it is. It's hard. Okay. Flush hard. And now it should work. Okay, so this was pretty fun. It was 4 commands, and we were able to clone the remote website without ever logging into it, but we can do better. We can do it without any files created. We can do it in one command. And let me first remove this client SQL one. So it's gone. And let me import this. Good thing we back up everything. WP-DB import this magic one. Okay. So back here to see it's back to default. So again, WP client DB export minus. And now we can use the benefit of CLI tools working nice together. So I'm going to say pipe, and everything that is on the left side of the pipe is input for the command that is on the right side of the pipe. So I can say WP DB import and use minus or hash. No, it's a slash. So it will not look for a file in the system. It will actually look for terminal output and input to import this. Now, when all of this is done successfully, I want to do the search replace part. So WP search replace Milana.dev to magic.log. And when all of that is completed, I'm going to do another search replace to HTTPS to HTTP. This is wrong. Magic.lock and magic.lock. And when all of that is done, I'm gonna do rewrite flush hard. So it's a lot of typing, but look, ma, no hands. And it didn't create any file. It did it all on fly, and we have our website cloned. Now, this is nice as a practice, but if you do this more than twice, you'll get bored. It's a lot of typing. So what you want to do probably is create bash script for this. And I'm going to just copy all of this. Come on. Okay. Copy pasting in terminal. I'm gonna copy all this and open a new session, and here's the reason, you'll find out soon. So I'm just gonna run it. It doesn't matter, it's already there, because I just want to have this command in my history. And now, because I'm in this new session, in my history for this session is only that one command and this one that I'm gonna type. So I'm gonna say history -a, which means append, and I want to put it in a file, so only from this session, and I'm gonna call it client import database. And now when I open it, let's open it with Sublime to make it to see what exactly is there. Okay, so this is the one that we want, and this is the one that I don't want in here. I don't want to create another file every time I run it. So to create a bash script, first you want to do shebang and then tell bin bash. So you want to tell which shell is going to be executed so the terminal knows what to do. And we can just save it like this. This is fine. And, oh, by the way, this is the config file. So it's just text file. You can copy paste and, you know, create your own aliases from here. So let's go back here. And now this file holds our command, and I'm gonna make it executable. So it's change mode to add executable to a client, import database, and now you see the color is changed. So it's executable, and now I want to move it somewhere in my path so I can execute it wherever I want. And I like to put all of them in my bin folder. So it's move client, and I wanna call it the same way. So move it to my bin. Okay, so it's not here anymore. Good. And now let me import the old database again so that we can test if it's working. Okay, and now if I type client import database, it will just run it. And again, this is better, but we cannot use this script for anything except this specific remote server and this specific local one. So what we can do, and I shouldn't close that file. Let me go back and open. Where's my bin? here, and it was called client. I don't see it. Here it is. Okay. So what we can do is we can replace this hard-coded values with some vars. It's really just basic bash scripting, and I have other, for example, this one. I have a lot of scripts doing. So here it is. It's really simple. You just have command read p and then what it's going to be, and you can replace it where you want that. So let's do this. I'm going to say here read, and let's call it remote domain, and this will be remote, and then read -p local domain, and call this local. I'm not sure if these bars are not protected, and what you do is you want to have it like this. This is var, so it's $ and curly braces, and I'm gonna replace all this. This is only one occurrence, okay? So I'm gonna call it like this, remote, and all of these are gonna be changed to local, right? So now this looks like something we can use on different websites, and let's try something different. Let's do again this WPDB import magic, and maybe try to do it from the other remote that was developer.com, that we have other alias. It's the same. Oh, shoot. Maybe. Okay, let's do it this way. I'm gonna say WP developer post generate, and it will generate 100 posts, dummy posts on remote server. Okay. And we don't see that here. How do I see this? I have to. This is interesting. I have to change some settings. I wasn't ready. This is improvising. I wasn't ready for this. So let's see. We can actually change something else so to make it different from the magic one. For example, WP developer option. Let's see if we can change blog name or something like that. Yes, I could. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, that's smart. Let's see what themes we have. Theme list. So let's just activate 2023. Theme. I think it has to be activate first. Right. And right. Okay, so here we have a post as well. Oh, by the way, I just remembered that this won't work because we need to change the alias name. So let's see. Read B alias and maybe we should leave at, but I'm gonna do it just all of it, alias, right? So now it's ready for actual usage. Okay, so let's see if this is going to work. Client import database. Remote domain is developerka.com. Local domain is magic.lock and alias is develop. Oh, I need at developerka. Write rules empty. Okay, let's see what we have done. Nice. So it's a working script that, and you can do this with all sorts of things. I have script for installing WordPress, which is just boring, you know, to type everything. I can show you. Install WP, and it has, you know, database name and my root password, and for that I use this to hide it so it's not in my history, and site title, admin password, and I don't like to type local email addresses. It's just stupid waste of time, so I build it here, you know. It's, and I even have some fun with some Linux script, but here it is. So if you, oh, this is for including alias. I even have that here. So if you want to create alias, it will automatically create alias for you. If you use a specific set of plugins, you can add them here right away, or theme, or whatever you want to set up. You can put it in a script. You can make it do the dummy content, so you don't have to type post 1, post 2, and you know, the sky is the limit, really. And you can automate everything, so you just relax and laugh out loud because you're not typing that any time again. And I hope that this showed you the potentials that you can have with WP-CLI and aliases. I hope you will use it. And this is just the type of the iceberg. There's so many things you can do. And I hope you will have fun doing that. I had fun. And my name is Milana. I'm WordPress engineer and documentation team representative. And I'm also a classical musician, so if you want to talk about that, or WordPress, or CLI, or, you know, automating anything, you can find me here. And thank you so much for your time.